The Secret Garden, Chapter 24. Before the sun sets. Mary went, Mary went to fetch Ben Weatherstaff and bring him into the garden to meet Colin. The main thing to remember, she told him, was that Colin was getting well. The garden was making him well. No one needed to remind him about lumps or dying. Meanwhile, Colin was determined to be standing when Ben entered the garden. "I'm going to walk to that tree," he said to Deacon. "I can lean against it if I get tired, but I'll still be standing." Deacon nodded. I told you that you could stand as soon as you stop being afraid." "I'm not afraid anymore." Colin suddenly thought of something. "Are you making some magic that's helping me stand?" Deacon grinned. "You're making that magic yourself. It's the same magic that makes these flowers walk their way out of the dirt." He touched a clump of crocuses on his foot. Just then, Ben and Mary came through the door in the wall. Look at me with the staff," ordered Colin, standing tall by the tree. "Am I a hunchback? Do I have crooked legs?" "No, sir. Everyone thinks I'm going to die, but I'm not." Ben looked him up and down. You have too much spirit to die." "I saw that when you put your feet on the ground in such a hurry. Now sit down and give me your orders." Deacon spread the blanket on the ground and helped Colin to sit. The others gathered around him. "What work do you do in the gardens?" Weatherstaff asked Colin. "Anything I'm told to do," replied Ben. "I still work here because your mother liked me." "My mother?" Colin looked around. This was her garden, wasn't it? Yes, and she was very fond of it. "It's my garden now, and I'm fond of it too." "I'm going to come here every day," announced Colin. "But it's to be secret. Mary and Deacon have worked hard to make the garden come alive. I'll send for you something to help, but you must come when no one can see you." Ben smiled. "I've come here before and no one saw me." "What? When?" Colin asked. "The last time was about 2 years ago." "But how did you get in? No one knew where the key was buried," said Colin. "I came over the wall, but my ancient joints had held me back these last 2 years. It will be easier now that I can come through the door." So you're the one who did the pruning?" cried Deacon. "Yes," said Ben. He turned to Colin and said softly, "Your mother was such a pretty young thing. She said to me at once, 'Ben, if I'm ever ill, or if I go away, you must take care of my roses.' When she did go away, the orders were that no one was ever to come near the garden." Ben paused to collect his emotion. Then he said in a strong voice, "But I came over the wall because she gave her orders first." "I'm glad you did," said Colin. You will know how to keep our secret." Earlier in the afternoon, Mary had dropped her trowel on the ground where they were sitting now. Colin reached out and picked it up. He drove the end of the towel into the digging. "You can do it," Mary said to herself. Sure enough, Colin managed to turn a few trowels full of dirt. "You said you'd have me walking and digging. said to Colin. Colin said to Dickon. I thought you were saying just to please me, but here it's only the first day, and I've already walked and now I'm digging. How would you like to plant something? Asked Ben. I can get the rose from the greenhouse. Go and get it quickly. Gordon began to dig excitedly, but he wasn't strong enough to dig a very big hole. Ben hurried off to get the rose while Dickon made the hole deeper. Mary ran out of the garden to fetch a watering can. Soon they were all gathered around Garden. Ben took the rose out of the pot. I want to plant it before the sun sets, said Colin. His hand shook as he put the rose on the ground. He held it while Ben filled the hole with dots. It's planted, cried Colin, and the sun is almost down. Help me up, Dickon. I want to be standing when it sets. That's part of the magic. Dickon helped him to his feet. It has been a strange and lovely afternoon, and as the sun slipped below the horizon, Colin stood smiling in the secret garden.